The little girl secretly slipped into the crown prince's residence during a solemn ceremony. Hungry and weak, she quietly took a steamed bun from the offering table. Unfortunately, she was spotted by the guards and pulled forward. The crown prince asked her why, with so many fine foods present, she chose only a plain bun. She answered honestly that meat and eggs were too costly, and the bun was the only food she could afford. Moved by her words, the crown prince gave her all the remaining buns. As the little girl looked at the crown princess resting inside the ceremonial box, she asked curiously why the lady was lying there. The crown prince said the crown princess had already passed on. But at that moment, the girl heard a gentle voice coming from a peony nearby. She hasn't gone yet. She's still here. Surprised, the girl realized she could hear the flower speak. The peony explained that the crown princess had been affected by a hidden substance. The girl quickly told the crown prince. The palace physician insisted this was impossible, explaining that he had examined the crown princess many times and found nothing unusual. The peony then revealed that the cause was extremely well concealed, hidden inside a cloth doll that had been prepared long in advance. If the doll were destroyed, the crown princess would awaken. The girl reached for the doll, but others stopped her, saying it was an important keepsake. The crown prince also asked her to hand it over. The peony urged her again, warning that there was no more time. Trusting the voice, the girl placed the doll into the brazier. A dark shadow quickly vanished into the air, and moments later, the crown princess slowly opened her eyes. Everyone was overjoyed. The physician confirmed her full recovery, though the crown prince believed it was merely a fortunate coincidence. The crown princess grew fond of the girl and said her own child would have been about the same age. Seeing that the girl had no family, the crown prince and princess decided to take her in. The little girl shyly said she was only a beggar. The crown prince smiled and said she was their little blessing. Back at the residence, they prepared a large meal. The girl carefully divided a chicken leg into 3 parts. When asked why, she said it would allow her to eat for 3 days. The crown princess felt a deep ache in her heart, and the crown prince promised she would never have to go hungry again. Later, the crown prince introduced her to portraits of her brothers. The eldest served far away, while the second had once been gifted but suffered an accident years earlier that changed his life and personality. When the second brother learned the family had taken in a beggar girl, he became angry and withdrew to the ice chamber. The ice spirit flower there was said to hold the only hope for his recovery, but that day was its final blooming period. Despite his prayers, the flower did not bloom, and hope faded. Just then, the emperor arrived with a renowned healer, who brought a precious dew said to awaken the flower. However, the young prince was suddenly missing. The girl asked a nearby orchid for guidance and quickly led everyone to the ice chamber. They found the young prince weakened by the cold. The healer tried the precious dew, but nothing worked. Even the flower began to fade, and despair filled the room. The girl knelt and begged the flower to help her brother. Tears fell onto the petals, and to everyone's shock, the flower responded. Ignoring objections, the girl followed the flower's guidance and placed its bud into the brazier. As people protested, a glowing fruit emerged from the flames. She handed it to her brother. Though it seemed to have no effect at first, the girl gently touched his leg, and hope quietly returned.